Fun Time Kidz Care. On the 25th of January 2015, Reddit user Disco Godfather 6922 made a post on the Salt Lake City subreddit that would start one of the biggest conspiracies in the platform's history. The post featured an image of a mysterious bright green building with little to no context. Its only identifying features were several signs that read Fun Time Kidz Care, suggesting that the building might have once been a daycare center or at least pretending to be one. The title of the post read, "What's the deal with this place? Lived across the street from it for 5 years, never seen a kid there." At first glance, an abandoned daycare doesn't seem all that interesting, but something about this building felt off. There were details that didn't quite add up. The mismatch between the fresh-looking outside paint with old worn-out signs and the oddly placed windows that appeared to be boarded up from the inside. These strange elements caught people's attention, and before long the post had gone viral across the internet. Then things got even stranger. A few days later, Disco Godfather visited the building again and described what they saw in a comment. "So I just came back from the place and found something in the back covered by a camo tarp. I then saw a Mexican man come out, pick something up and go back inside. Earlier in the day I went there and saw a pizza guy trying to deliver a pizza to the place. He knocked and nobody came to the door. He left and I was about to as well until I noticed kids walking up to the door and trying to get in. Finally, an old Mexican lady opened the door and let them in. 5 years of living here, never saw a single person go in or out. Then in one day I see 4 people. Weird." And while some people joked about the building being the base of operations for Walter White from the popular TV show Breaking Bad, others took things more seriously. To them, this daycare looked like a money laundering front or something far sinister like an organ harvesting operation. One person also pointed out the convenient timing of Disco Godfather seeing the 2 kids after their post went viral, stating, "Could still be a drug front, but perhaps due to the additional attention it's getting, they're bringing in some of their own kids to make the place look more convincing." But before Disco Godfather and the rest of the internet could find any concrete answers, a Reddit user by the name of Deathship advised them to stop looking into this place. Naturally, people wanted to know who this guy was. As Redditors began looking further into Deathship to understand their ominous warning, they made some interesting revelations. Deathship was a retired Air Force linguist who was fluent in 8 different languages and was also stationed in Area 51 at some point. If these credentials were true, it was possible that this mysterious building was affiliated with one of the 3-letter organizations like the DoD, FBI, and CIA. And if Deathship knew, that would explain his warnings telling Disco Godfather to back off. But things became even more terrifying when soon after Deathship's comment, Disco Godfather began receiving threats from other users. "Delete your posts and comment and stop making questions. First and last warning, we know who you are. If you must continue your search, try to uncover what you seek. Do not say I didn't warn you." Things like this are always run by dangerous people. Things got even more alarming when people found a link between the daycare and a shipping container from China. The bill listed 1,100 kilograms of plastic jewelry and 6,825 kilograms of football and soccer balls. This led many to believe that this daycare might be involved in human trafficking, pointing out that the weight didn't match what you'd expect from lightweight plastic items. Fortunately, all these disturbing theories were discovered to be nothing more than conspiracies. The Utah Department of Health has official child care licensing records indicating that Fun Time Kidz Care is just a normal functioning daycare. A recent comment by Reddit user Baby Tears also confirmed this with a personal story which reads, "I know this post is old, but my dad actually went there as a kid. It's ran by a nice older lady. Apparently, my dad told me it's usually meant for kids as kind of a safe haven daycare to protect children who have a parent or family member that isn't meant to be in contact with them that's deemed as more dangerous or persistent. Hence why the windows are semi-covered with curtains and drawings, also for safety. That's why there are only a few kids in there. I live right by it, and they actually just painted the building a bright green with yellow windows. In the winter, there's cute snowmen in the playground." Looking into the daycare's history, it turns out it was originally established in 1973. And it used to be much more lively back in the day. However, after being purchased by a man named Richard Yoakum, after 2006 the daycare wasn't looked after properly. With multiple complaints of issues like infants being left outside without any supervision, yelling at children, and inappropriate sanitary facilities being common. Eventually, the business started to fail. But Richard continued to operate the daycare at a loss and handed it over to his mother just so she would have something to do in her elderly years. As for the ominous warnings from Death Ship and others, they were just trolls taking the chance to harass Disco Godfather and turn this into something bigger than just a creepy building. On May 15, 2023, Richard passed away at the age of 79. While the Fun Time Kidz Care building still stands today, its legacy now reduced to a quirky internet footnote where fans of the mystery even dress up as the daycare for Halloween. An ending to what was, in hindsight, a completely overblown saga.